Is Jesus from the gospel reading today, is he easy to fit in with how you understand Jesus already, or is it difficult? Very often, actually, the image of Jesus that we're raised with does not include the Jesus who says, I have come to set the earth on fire, and the one who says, do you think I've come to bring peace? No, but rather division. Always our image and understanding of who Jesus is being refined, and if the one that you have right now, if this doesn't fit in there, then it has to change, has to expand. Jesus is more complicated, more interesting too, than most of the time we give him credit for. Jesus uses this image of fire, and fire is dangerous, and so I just want to emphasize this for a minute. Like, he wouldn't use this if he wasn't serious about it. I've come to set the earth on fire, and how I wish it were already blazing. Fire is something that we like, that also brings joy, that we use for all kinds of useful purposes, but it's something that we always keep in like a safe place. And when it's not like that, then it can get out of control really quickly. And this is actually what we want in the case of this fire. This is a place of this fire. Every church, every Catholic church and parish, this is a place where that fire is, that Jesus wants to cover the whole earth. And for every one of us, because we have received the Holy Spirit, this fire burns within us. And I hope also, I won't presume, but it's probably true, that each of your homes also are places of this fire. We want, actually, and this is what we ask for today, we want the Holy Spirit to blow on this fire so that it grows and becomes hotter, so that it catches the things around it on fire. And you know how this goes, like little embers jump out of the flame. This is the thing we watch for because we want to be safe, but not in this case. The little embers that jump out of the flame when the fire sparkles and crackles, that sets the things around it on fire. And especially from here, we always want the wind to blow north, because this is where the campus is, where Grand Valley is. The fire that is here, and in many places, is not everywhere, but Jesus put this parish here and put you at this parish and me at this parish so that the fire would grow. So this is why we're talking about this. I want to talk about how the fire grows, but next weekend is move-in weekend. So the first thing, of course, to say is that there will be traffic. There will be stressed out and kind of sad parents dropping off their students with mini fridges and, I don't know, whatever else you stock a dorm room with. One gift that I got that I actually used a lot my first year of college was a hot dog toaster. It's great dorm food. So that'll be happening. There'll be a bunch of people on 42nd and Lake Michigan and all that stuff, and it'll be chaotic, and we'll have to be patient. Maybe plan ahead for come to church next week. But for us, this is the moment. You know, this is what we've all been waiting for. We've been talking about some of this campus ministry and outreach and evangelization over the summer, but like this is the weekend. We're talking about it this weekend because we have to talk about it before they get here. Because and if there are some students here, okay, then you have to shut your mouth, okay? We will not talk about this after today. Okay, this is just natural and spontaneous because the Holy Spirit lives in us, and we didn't have to do any coaching or planning or organizing or anything like that. So we're talking about it this week, and it's going to be our secret. But the spread of the fire is actually unintuitive. It's not what you would expect, because in order for this fire to spread, there are no soapboxes, there's no megaphones, there's no big demonstration. We've talked about this over the summer, like the strategy here is not actually for all of you to go and flood campus and try and pull a student over to the Lord. Instead, we have these teams, the University Apostolate and the Focus Missionaries, Zach and other students who, like, their task is to go to campus, and they're going to spend a ton of time on campus in the next couple weeks, meeting people so that they know that we're here and that they know they have some place to land. So they're going to bring them here, and then this is our shining moment. When they come here, then you're here. What will they find? Before I thought about not doing this because I hate it when people do it to me, but I'm going to do it anyway. So could we have the Focus missionaries stand up for a moment? Don't clap for them, okay? Don't clap. Just stand up. Okay, so these are our 4 Focus missionaries. You can sit down now. Don't worry. So that you know their faces. And then the members of the University Apostolate too. I'm so sorry, but not that sorry. So these are the student leaders that are working especially on evangelization and outreach. Okay, you can sit down now too. They've had a retreat this weekend. They've been doing a little training and practice and prayer and everything. So these are the people that they're going to be out there sweating, handing out pickles and lemonade and whatever else you can think of. But the whole point is so that they're the first point of contact, so that the students come here and find you. And you just got to put yourself in their place for a second. Especially next weekend, there'll be a lot of new people who've never been here. There will be people who aren't Catholic that are just checking out the closest church on Google Maps. There will be parents of students for sure. And they'll look at the place, yes. They'll look at the priest for sure. But mostly they're wondering what kind of people you are. And again, if you put yourself in their shoes, it's like 1 out of 10,000 people that would say, I want to be part of this place, and I'm going to go introduce myself and meet people. Okay? Almost no one is going to do that. Instead, they come in and they see, you are the pros. This is your house. You belong here. You're here all the time. This is your parish, and they are visitors and guests, and they don't know what's going to happen next. So this is what we're dealing with, you know? Now, the usual way that we go about like visiting different Catholic churches, when you go to Mass elsewhere, or when we have people here, the usual rule is benign indifference, okay? It's the same as like riding on a bus. Well, I have to sit next to you, I'll be polite to you, but we both know we're not gonna talk, we're not gonna know each other, okay? That's benign indifference. Like, I'm not gonna be rude, but you do your thing, I do mine, no feelings hurt. We do this in Mass too. We go to Mass someplace and like, oh boy, I gotta sit kind of close to somebody. There's somebody 2 seats away. It's a little too much for me, but I'll keep my head down, and then the sign of peace comes around and peace be with you, and then you're both like, and we're all happy, you know, like please. And then you get like some sort of overzealous usher in the back that realizes you've never been here. You're like, run away. And if you're really outgoing, like you will shake the priest's hand as you run out the door. Okay, this is like the rule of benign indifference, and that's fine most of the time, really. But we actually are not indifferent to the new students, to the new residents, the people that are going to be here. So then, how do we act? There is a careful balance to be struck here between indifference and I don't care, and I care too much. Okay, the examples abound of caring too much. I just remember as a seminarian, you go to Mass, daily Mass someplace, and man, it's hard because you stand out because there's like 12 people there, and you're the only one under 55. And so even during Mass, you see them like notice you and kind of whisper to the person next to them. And then they come up to you afterward, and then they find out you're a seminarian, and you got like 6 people talking to you, and they're all excited and stuff, and they're kind, and they're going to pray for you. And then you leave, and you're like, that place is cooked. I'm never going back there, you know? Or like another well-intentioned one, I don't know if this is a personality thing. I hate this one, which is where I think vacation parishes do this, where maybe before Mass, priest or somebody is so excited. Do we have any visitors here today? Can you raise your hands? And it's, okay, please stand up. Where are you from? What are your names? What's your birthday? What do you do for work? What brings you here? Give them a fruit basket, you know? Like, I think I did that once because I felt an obligation. Like, please. And then, yeah, just like way too much. And so I will never do that. If I am ever in a place like that and they're like, do we have any visitors? And I just duck down and I look at like, you have to look like kind of excited because everybody else is excited. Otherwise, you're going to stand out. And then you start looking around like, yeah, are there any visitors? You got to camouflage in. So I despise that, okay? And that's too much. If you do that to somebody, maybe you would appreciate that. But like I said, I will never go back to those places. So we're trying to hit a balance between too much and too little. Between I don't care and like, we're going to feast on your bones for dinner, you know? So here's what I want to explain. I think there are like two main kinds of hospitality, and you've experienced both of these kinds. You go over to somebody's house, you're a guest, they want to feed you dinner and everything, and the first kind is like the like really honoring, beautiful, like here's a chair, we got you a drink, like they engage you in great conversation, dinner's almost ready, then we go in there and sit down, and like they just take very good care of you the whole time. And then you leave and you're like, wow, thank you so much. Okay, that's great, that's good. But then there's a second kind of hospitality, which is where you come in and they say, hey, it's so great that you're here. Dinner's almost ready. Here are the forks. Please put them on the table. Or one of the kids is having a meltdown. Can you hold the baby? Because I got to go deal with this. Or at the end of dinner, like, hey, we're all going to clear the table. Can you take yours or the baby's or whatever? Like, this is it, okay? This is like that threading the middle way, the butter zone there. This is the kind of hospitality we want to offer because we're not welcoming guests or visitors. We're trying to bring people like in, to show like, actually you belong here. And we're happy for like what it is, what is different for your presence here. So we do this, it's actually very subtle. Like, a lot of it is unsaid. Some of it is like simple things, like this is the most basic stuff. You already know this. Next weekend, when you see somebody coming up the aisle, maybe two helicopter parents and a student, and they look down your aisle, then you take your bag and you move and you say, we got a spot for you right here. Come and sit right here. See if they will take you up on it. Just like little ways to say, like, there's room for you. We will make room for you. We're not indifferent, and you're not invisible. Here's another thing, though, and this is, again, unintuitive, but I think extremely, extremely helpful. The first impulse is to offer help, okay? Like, hey, it's great. You're in this new place, though. Anything we can do for you? You know, can we help you move in? The heavy stuff, or like you need help with groceries, or we'll fill your fridge or buy you a new car or whatever, like all this stuff. Like, it's easy to offer help, but it always puts the person actually on the back foot and puts them in a it's hard to receive when you're in a new place, you know, because it's actually a very vulnerable thing. So instead of offering help, ask for help, okay, just in little simple ways. This is what I want you to keep in mind. Instead of offering help, ask for help. Like, at the end of Mass, there's donuts or something. Make a presumptuous ask, like, hey, don't know your name, hey, there's a vacuum in that room over there. Can you go grab it and bring it here? And this person who's never been here before, they'll just do it, you know? And all of a sudden, by the end of that, they say, like, I can do something. I'm not helpless. I'm not an extra. Like, I actually did something. And it opens the door to say, hey, thanks a lot for grabbing the vacuum. What's your name anyway? Or if you have kids, then, you know, it can feel like, well, I have kids, so I don't really have, I'm busy enough with this stuff. But this is mutually beneficial, you know? I'm not saying, like, hand your crying baby to some strange person you never met before. But, you know, you're playing in the yard or playing in the vestibule or something. Then just tell your kid, like, hey, see that guy sitting alone over there? See how isolated and scared he feels? His parents just left. He's at a new place. You don't have to tell him all this stuff. You can just say, hey, see that guy over there sitting in the chair? Hey, go and just touch him and say tag. See what happens. Or you're playing catch, you got a kid's toy or something. You just kind of like, whoops, over to this person sitting there. And then they have to pick it up and give it to that little kid. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, well, I can do something, you know? It just opens doors wide when you ask for help rather than offering help. And you gotta, I don't think this would happen, but I had a funny image, just like everybody grabs onto this, and so like the college students just get pelted with toys in the vestibule. Like, we're so glad you're here. So don't do that, but it's subtle, it's gentle. But the point is, like, it can't just be me, it can't just be the college students and the focused missionaries. But there have to be like hundreds of us that are just keeping an eye out, you know? Like, how can I make a little connection with this person? Talking to these people is the easiest small talk you will ever make in your life. Like, everybody's asking the same questions. What's your name? Where are you from? What are you studying? Maybe you can ask, what year are you in? You can ask, like, what's the church like where you come from? If you want to hit like level 2, then if you can find out what they are an expert in, whatever it is, find out what they're an expert in and ask them questions so that they can teach you something you don't know. Incredible. Again, it's just empowering and like, hey, I actually have something to offer, rather than I'm here to get my ticket punched and then I go home. Of course, we want to learn names. There's going to be a bunch of names. So if you can have one this semester, if you can just imagine this, if the whole semester goes by, and each week, maybe you miss a few, but most weekends, all you have is you see that one kid you met on the first day, and you say, hey, Jeff, and then you walk out, we are miles and miles ahead, you know? Like, it doesn't actually take that much. It could get to the point where, you're walking to the parking lot and some sort of rust bucket is parked next to you and the muffler's falling off and it's making all kinds of noise, and you just say because you know Jeff by this point, hey, Jeff, like, do you know how to change oil? Like, we could do that sometime, Or like, I don't know, like, hey, I'm looking for someone to shovel my sidewalk this winter. There are a million options. It takes some creativity, but it's easy. It's subtle. All we're trying to communicate in all of this is that, like, when you come in, who you will meet here at St. Luke is people who love God, who are normal and chill. It's very important. Everybody's asking this when they walk in. Are they normal? And most of you are normal. We love God. We're normal and chill. We notice you, and we're not indifferent. By our actions, by our invitations, we presume that you are trustworthy, that you want to help, and you're able to, like, contribute something. We want your good, and we'll go to some lengths for it. And all of this is just fostering a little connection that is an open door. Never a pushy relationship that's like, we really want to get to know you better. An open door, not pushy, that says like, hey, if you want this relationship to go further, if you want to know me and my family more, then you can. And if you're okay with how it is, then that's fine. It's as much or as little as you want. I don't want you to hear all of this as like, okay, people, gear up, have an extra cup of coffee next week because we're getting to work and it's going to be hard. It's really not hard. It's natural, and I would say it's more natural here than in other places, because since I got here, all the time at St. Luke has a particular gift. The people of St. Luke have a particular gift for like a gentle friendliness that, again, has an open door and is not pushy and is not indifferent. So it's just so have your eyes open and do what you always do. Like I said, this is the last time we're talking about this, okay? Because they're coming next weekend. So this is our secret. And this is, I can't emphasize this enough, actually, the importance of this, because next weekend and the weekends after, the way that you respond is literally the difference for hundreds of people for the rest of their lives. This is what Jesus wants. I have come to set the earth on fire, and how I wish it were already blazing.